genre.
Welcome back to The Doctor's Companion Presents Doctor Who The Long Way Round, the weekly podcast where we review and discuss every episode of Doctor Who, one doctor at a time. I'm Cass Fredrickson.
Oh yeah, I'm Nick Jimenez.
And I'm Scott Corelli.
Today on the show we'll be discussing The Ghost Monument, the 13th Doctor's second story.
And what a story it is.
No.
When we last left 13 and our friends Graham, Yaz, and Ryan, they were floating helplessly through space because the Doctor seemingly fucked up her coordination, her coordinates.
Mm-hmm.
So some consider this to be part 2 of The Woman Who Fell to Earth. I choose not to, because why would you make The Woman Who Fell to Earth last longer than you needed to?
It's true. Also, there's no Tooth Man in this, so
he is referenced. He is referred.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how could you not after seeing him?
Yeah.
I feel like it's the only thing I would ever talk about.
His old Tim Shaw.
Yeah. But yeah, so this written by Chris Chibnall, directed by Mark Tonderay. This aired the 14th of October, 2018.
Wow. 14th of October. That's Valentine's Day.
What?
October?
Oh, October. Never mind.
Spooky Valentine's Day.
Spooky Valentine's Day. We all know.
That's Goth Valentine's Day. So yeah, the Ghost Monument is basically, this is the story where the Doctor and friends find themselves in the middle of Amazing Race, the reality show.
Uh-huh.
Essentially. Like our previous episode, this is new enough that there isn't like a ton of details behind the scenes recounting how and why this episode exists the way that it is. But it was decided to shoot this in South Africa to get the vibes right. The vibes being, I guess, what every episode of the Chris Chibnall era looks and feels like, which is
Just
like
a desolate wasteland.
Desolate, kind of sweaty, just like humid, looks humid. But
also not a quarry.
Not a quarry. That is true. But apparently it was very difficult to shoot in South Africa. There was a drought. Everyone was only allowed 2-minute showers. And everyone was like, well, it looks really cool on camera, I guess, but I don't want to ever do that again. And so they probably didn't. I don't know. I'd assume not. But that's basically it. Like, I don't really have any, large spanning behind the scenes details on this, unfortunately. Because it's just too new. But Rosa was also filmed in South Africa, for some reason. So the next episode,
a lot of stuff you wouldn't think was filmed in South Africa were filmed in South Africa.
Yeah, that is true.
The Kissing Booth movies is a fun fact for you guys.
Really?
Huh. Yeah.
Good God, why?
So stuff.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway.
Next time you watch the Kissing Booth movies, listeners, just know
they're in South Africa right now.
They're in South Africa.
One of the most difficult, notoriously difficult accents to get right.
Yeah. You think Jacob Elordi can shower that whole body in 2 minutes? Impossible. Can't do it.
Luckily, there's a lot of pools in those movies.
That's true. It's a very pool-heavy franchise.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Tosin Cole had a heat stroke.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Filming. And he was asked by two different people while filming where his chaperone was, because they assumed he was a minor, even though he was 25 at the time.
Oh my gosh.
That's so weird.
He's like, I'm a grown man.
I'm a grown man, I'm 25. Mandip girl looks younger than me.
Why aren't you asking her?
Imagine a bunch of people approaching Bradley Walsh and be like, hey, little boy, where's your guardian? Where's your mommy and daddy?
Well, she knows how to ride a bike, doesn't she? All right, fair.
I'm a grown man. I'm 50 or 60 years old.
So anyway, yeah. So this is the Doctor's Amazing Race.
Yeah, the Doctor's Amazing Race. Cooler than it sounds, unfortunately. Like a lot of Chibnall episodes, when you kind of write the premise down on a note card, whether it's Kerblam or Nikola Tesla's magical fun hose or whatever that one was called, like you're like, what was it called?
Nikola Tesla's Flight of Fear? I don't know. I don't remember.
Nikola Tesla's Magical Wooz It?
Yeah. Nikola Tesla's Wild Ride?
Let's look it up. What was it called? What's that Mickey Mouse ride called, Scott? Anyone?
Runaway Railway.
Yeah, Nikola Tesla's Runaway Railway.
Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror is the name of it.
Oh, it is Night of Terror. Okay.
Would not have guessed that. But where you're like, oh, on paper that sounds kind of cool, but the episode is unfortunately kind of mostly, it doesn't really take advantage of that arachnids in the UK, which we'll be talking about next week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one is kind of about a huge galaxy-spanning race where thousands of contestants are whittled down, one by one until only two remain. And indeed, those are our two supporting players. Mm-hmm. So as I mentioned earlier, Team TARDIS stranded in space, and they are separated but scooped up by two seeming space marauders. Scott, I think
yeah, right away you introduced what is the problem with the Chibnall era, which is that okay, we have three companions and a doctor, so that's four main characters. So despite this being Doctor Who's Amazing Race, we have to begin the story with there only being two contestants left, because taking care of six characters is going to be hard enough, let alone if we had a bunch of characters, the full range of contestants that we could then jettison throughout the episode, which would be the more fun version of this, which is you come in at the beginning of the Amazing Race.
Yeah.
And there's
that's
lots
the
of
RTD cut.
Yeah. There's lots of contestants, and then you're just seeing them get iced throughout, that is much more interesting. But because there's already three companions, it's I'm already exhausted by the number of characters. So then we have to start at the end with the two worst characters, presumably, that were part of the Amazing Race, the Amazing Space Race, because they're the most boring, because they're basically the same person.
Whoa, wait, Scott, I will not have you talk about Angstrom and Epso like that.
God.
My two faves, Angstrom and Epso. Epso being the one who picks up the Doctor in Yaz. And of course, as we all know, he is a Muxturan, Muxtaran.
Mm.
He's a Muxtaran. And Angstrom is the one who picks up Graham and Tosin Colt Ryan. She is, of course, Albarian from the planet Albar.
I am begging. I'm just begging Chibnall to let someone else name all of his aliens and characters because he's so bad at it.
It's kind of a superpower.
It is. It really is. You're just like, is this on purpose? Like, are you just throwing darts at random letters? Like, what are you?
Also, they're both just boring looking humans. So
Yeah.
like, why are they both from different alien worlds?
Right.
Mhm.
That's
What does
true.
it matter anyway? So, Cass, thoughts on Angstrom and Epso?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like ostensibly these two are the ones who have survived like being systematically whittled down and are still alive. And
Mhm.
I don't know if there was like sabotage prior to this, or like how the guy who runs the race like monitors them really. But like they kind of have like the world's most boring bounty hunter vibes about them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know? And like I kind of understand why they're both human if they're filming in South Africa and there's a drought and people were having
Oh my
heat
God.
stroke because
True.
like
Yeah.
running around with prosthetics would suck. But yeah, I don't know. This episode sure is an episode.
No, for sure. So, the Doctor and Yaz help Epso like land the ship because they're like careening towards the planet. So like
Mhm.
they jettison like the whole back half of the ship, and they do a crash landing. We get some like fun Jodie Whittaker 13 like running around being the Doctor on the ship. Kind of like, again, because these are like early days for her, kind of setting her character where she's kind of forgetting that Yaz is there and
Mhm.
kind of getting caught up in her own manic space stuff, emblematic of their relationship to come in many ways.
Oh God.
Sad. They crash land on the surface of Desolation. That's the name of the planet that they crash on. Planet Desolation. They all, Team TARDIS and Angstrom and Epso are able to reunite, so they're all in one big clump again. I wrote this on my notes before I even knew that they were on South Africa, Scott. But one thing I couldn't help but make a note of is how like everyone in this episode, especially the companions, are wearing like layers.
Yeah.
Like jackets and flannel, and it was just like Liaz is wearing like a leather jacket,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was just like, why?
Yeah, I know. I think that's the other element that this episode needs, because like, eventually they go to like the guy's tent where he's like,
Alien.
yes, we're on the last leg of the amazing space race.
How we feeling?
Only one winner. You fuckers aren't part of this. What are you doing here? And it's frustrating that like an easy fix for this to just give it some life would have been to like have a host and have this televised through space, just to have
sure.
Just a little bit of energy of like, it's all come down to these two, like forcing like these two guys to do like talking heads, like, like,
Oh yeah.
I just think that would just be like a little something to add a little personality to an episode that has absolutely no personality whatsoever otherwise.
And again, very RTD move.
Yes.
Well, then it kind of becomes like a Hunger Games analog where it's like they're, I mean, because they're dying, and they're like competing. And so if you're like forcing them to like entertain not just this one guy, this very wealthy person, but it's like televised, and then like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And then it would be about something. And this episode is kind of not about anything thematically. I guess it's about trust or being a good person, or because Ipso is very like, I don't care about anyone. Actually, my mom didn't catch me once, and now I don't trust anyone. And the dog's like, oh, but trusting people's well nice. I love trusting people. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Please.
The theme of trust is, I think you're right. I think that is the theme, because like all of the characters, like she tells them to do something and they're like, fuck off. And they do their own thing. And then they fuck up. And she's like, should have trusted me. And they're like, yeah, I guess. And then at the end, she's like, we're all going to travel in this tiny box. And they're like, what?
We trust you.
Like, okay, I guess. And then they're like, oh, it's bigger on the inside. Wow, we should have trusted you the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I guess that sure is what this episode's about. I don't know.
So the prize for winning the Rally of the 12 Galaxies, as it is known, is 3.2 trillion Kryn. It is a currency that has its own little article in the TARDIS wiki, and it is a currency that is only used in this episode. It is equal to 200 Kavlons or 90 Forvlars or 4,000 Trinites.
It's so annoying how many made up words are in this story. I got to be honest. Like that's that might be the tippy top of what I hate the worst about the most about this episode is how many made up words are in this one
that don't matter.
That don't matter. Never come up again, because he can't even remember what he wrote 5 minutes ago, because he's just making up bullshit as he goes along.
Because that planet, the planet name that only Cass can remember, like that's a made up word, but it's a word.
Raxachlorocalfalpatorius.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
But it lives in our hearts.
It does.
Even if we don't remember it. So the Doctor is pretty uninterested in this Rally of the 12 Galaxies. She's like, I don't really care about money, whatever it's called. But the marker that is sort of being used as the finish line of the race is referred to as the Ghost Monument throughout the episode. And then Ilian presses an image of the Ghost Monument, and it is revealed to be it's this thing that phases in and out, and sometimes we can't see it, and that's why we call it the Ghost Monument. And it's the TARDIS. And
13's ears like perk up like a dog's.
For sure. Absolutely. And she's like, oh, that's why we were in space, is because it was like phasing in and out, and it was I locked coordinates onto where the TARDIS was going to be, but then it phased to a different location, and that's why we ended up in space. So she's like, okay, we're in the race now. We're teaming up with Angstrom and Ipso. We're getting to that fucking Ghost Monument, and we're getting off of this planet.
So it's not my fault, and none of you are allowed to be mad at me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I didn't fuck up.
You should have trusted me.
That's what the episode's about.
Oh my God.
There's a part where they're trying to like Graham and Ryan volunteer to get this boat started up. They find this boat that'll take them across like this toxic water, because there's this part where the Doctor's like, this is unlike any planet I've ever been to before. There's like no life here. There's only like bacteria. I'm like, that's most planets.
Yeah.
But
she doesn't bother going to those planets. So
no, she only goes to the cool ones. We get a scene where
I only go to the cool ones.
Where Graham and Ryan are like, they're sitting down, and Graham's like, well, I keep thinking about what will Grace do if she were here. She'd probably say, "Oh, you lot, quit being so fucking miserable. Hey, we're on an alien planet, ain't we?" And I was like, yeah, I fucking miss my grandmum. I'll miss it too, Ryan.
Oh my God, I love your Graham impression.
I haven't done it in a while. So yeah, they get the boat going, and then to your point, Scott, go into like, the kind of reoccurring thing of like no one trusting the doctor yet. They get attacked by these robots, and the doctor's like, okay, wait, let's just like huddle down and just like wait and find a plan. And Ryan's like, no, Call of Duty, and then he like runs and he shoots all of them, but then they come back up, and he's like, oh fuck, and then he runs back, and Doctor's like, oh, didn't work, did it? Stupid. Yeah.
If only you had, what's the word?
Listen to me. And so yeah, but then she makes like a makeshift EMP blast and takes out the robots, and it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so they managed to outrun the robots. They so they find a bunch of like skeletons of scientists like deep in this. They find like a hatch, and they climb down to the hatch, and they find out that like these scientists were like creating something, but then like the company that made the rally like used the planet to kind of like make it dangerous on purpose. Please.
No. Okay, so the planet, the people that old toothface man,
Yes.
Stenza.
Yeah.
They
Stenza.
like kidnapped these scientists and made them make a bunch of terrible like monsters and like bio weapons and like actual weapons so they could like take over the galaxy or whatever.
Right. Thank you, Cass.
Yeah. Plot.
Yeah, kind of tying it back in, but it feels so disjointed from the plot of like the rally of the 12 galaxies, the
Mhm.
galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's like because the planet is like it has like shifted out of orbit or something like
Mhm.
it's not where it's supposed to be, and like I think that's what the Doctor's main motivation is, and also like getting back to the TARDIS. But like
Mhm.
she's like, well, I want to know what happened here, and then the two in the race are like, well, we don't care, which is fine because like they're not there to care, you know.
Yeah, they're there for the money, the krill, sweet krill.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the like split in motivation, it's kind of conflict, but like not really, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's mostly like, oh, why don't you care about this? Like we should care about this. And they're like, well, we don't. We just want our money, you know?
Yeah, and like Angstrom kind of has this motivation of like, I need that money for my family. Like
Yeah.
my family's waiting for that money because they need it. And then Ipso is like, I ain't got no family. I only care about number. I stick my neck out for no one. Me.
Mhm.
And that's kind of supposed to, pit them as like opposites of each other, you
Mhm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
For me, the most interesting part of this episode, which I completely forgotten about, was towards the end when they're like making a break for it, and they get attacked by these ghosts, these voiceless ghosts, or these kind of like, no, they have voices, but they're like these like apparitions, and they appear before the Doctor, and they're like, "Ah, you, the timeless child, you don't
Mhm.
even know who you are." And the Doctor's like, "The fuck is that supposed to mean?" And he's like,
Mhm.
"You'll find out." And I'm like, whoa, I forgot that it had been set up that early. The timeless child.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it was like I remember it was like a long running thing where like when we finally started getting answers where people were like, oh, here it comes. We're going to find out what this means. And then everyone was like, what the fuck?
How could we have known? Yeah.
Wait.
And then, they get the TARDIS, or they find the TARDIS at the end, and we get 13's first, her introduction to the TARDIS, where she's like, whoa, you've redecorated. And Cass, how did it feel seeing this, or both of us? How did we like seeing this console again after all this time? Any fondness for this version of the TARDIS with the yellow crystals and whatnot?
It's okay. So it's so hard to see in there, you know? Like it's so dimly lit, and I'm like, I think this would be cool. Like again, I think in concept it's cool, like that it looks kind of more organic, or like a I don't know, like a weird little cave for her to live in.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to like, we don't get like a big sweeping like shot of it all ever.
This era of the show is like allergic to big sweeping shots. It likes to keep things in tight close-ups for some reason.
I don't know. And then why would you film abroad if that's the case, you know? Like
Sure, you had to go back to the South Africa aspect.
I do like this TARDIS interior, though I do wish that the backlights were a little brighter so that it just like gave you a better sense of the room in its entirety. Like it'd be cool if like the backlights were like a different but complementary color from the crystals so that it kind of just lit up. It just had like a cool, like kind of like has like a, like almost like an arcade. It looks like an arcade right now because it's like dark, but with like, you know, neon lights or whatever. Like it kind of reminds me of an arcade. But the one thing that I think is unforgivable in this TARDIS, which it just drives me crazy, is the way that the police box doors are done, which is like you have the entirety of the police box, which is like the entrance to the actual TARDIS. And I just don't, it like defeats the purpose of the bigger on the inside thing to me, because then it makes it seem like the police box is like a portal to like the actual TARDIS.
Oh,
do you know? Like instead of it being the TARDIS is inside of it. Because like the little entrance, like when you're inside the TARDIS and you're looking out at the entrance to the police box part, it's like you see like 3 walls of the police box there, and it just I don't like it. It's the one thing I like. The rest of this TARDIS, I agree, it's a little dark, but that's the one thing that I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't like that. Yeah,
they made it like a little vestibule or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really like Cass's concept of it being like a little grubby like cave or like grotto.
Her little goblin cave.
A little goblin cave, like a little like a little like deposit of water for her to like grab a fish out of, like she's Gollum and like, eat it.
Yeah, I do like the sort of I don't know if you would count this as like texture, but like the texture of the walls, like it being those like weird like Gallifreyan gears everywhere. I think is like a pretty cool. I just wish they had like lights in there or something.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Like, but yeah, you know, I don't remember what happens to Angstrom and Ipso. Like, I don't remember why they aren't in that last scene. I don't think they die.
No, they just they were like, okay, both of us win. And then the rich guy's like, no, that sucks. Yeah. And then he's like, fine, okay. And then they like get teleported out. And that's why they're not there, which is like really anticlimactic.
Like, well, we did all that for nothing. And then the TARDIS shows up and they're like, oh, no, we didn't. No, we actually won. Because they're literally like, we're walking through here together simultaneously. We both win. He's like, that's not how this works. Only one of you wins. That's it. I'm getting out a stick and I'm throwing it onto the ground, and the first one dead loses. And they're like, no, we're not doing it that way. You're paying us both. And he's like, no, I'm not. That's not how this works. He's like, it works however we fucking say it will, because I don't know if you realize this, but we're both killers and we will kill you, you son of a bitch. And we'll take all your fucking money. He's like, all right, you're both winners.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah. And he's like, great. And you're going to save them too? And he's like, nope. And then he snaps his fingers and then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're the only ones left. And they're like, oh, well, fuck.
At least we got our old pal, the Ghost Monument here.
Yeah, indeed.
I think it's interesting that we all three of us were able to, we were able to kind of like conjure up the RTD version of this episode so quickly. Like, oh yeah, Amazing Race. And like, there could be all these like, you know, kind of like going back to Gridlock, these like really memorable, because like, who knows how many of some of those characters that we still remember really vividly only had like 2 lines, like the thruple, but the cat lady and like the cat, you know, the kind of like the conservative, well-to-do, like, oh, get careful, ladies. I'm just an old-fashioned cat, you know.
Right? Yes. And also, Amazing Race, which is famously notable for being a pair of
Right.
like a team who's like a duo.
Ordinary people.
Yeah, of like doing this Amazing Race. What a perfect way to like introduce a new Doctor and new companions, like first adventure out in the stars together, where it's like, we have to like be a duo. Yeah. We have to like learn how to like be a little team together.
That's so fun.
And it's such a fun idea, and it's completely
Doctor and
wasted
Yaz,
in this story.
And like the Doctor and Yaz could have been one group, and the Doctor could have learned, because that way Yaz wouldn't be such a freaking afterthought this whole episode, which he is. And then you would have gotten Graham and Ryan, and Ryan would be like, "This is the last person I want to be in a group with. I fucking hate Graham."
Right?
Like, it's like, we have to be on a team together. Like, come on, call me granddad. And like that's something. Like that's that's fun.
Absolutely.
I do want to call out the moment, because I was watching it, and I was like, oh, that's when Yaz is like, oh, I'm gay. So the part where the Doctor like lights a bunch of the flammable gas on fire or whatever, and then she tells everyone to duck. So there's like that shot of Yaz just like staring up at like, I don't know. I thought it was really funny because she's just like, it like is very like specifically like focused on her. Yeah. And she has like this expression on her face of like, I can't believe this is happening, but also like, this is cool that this is happening. And I'm like, poor lesbian.
Like a fish on a hook.
Uh-huh.
This is, like she was like, just whisked away on this adventure with this like impossibly brilliant weirdo.
Mm-hmm. Who keeps forgetting she's there.
Right? Yeah. The emotional unavailability.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's all there.
Nothing hotter.
I think we're going to say this again and again, but as uneven as the RTD2 era was, I think it's worth kind of like, I don't know, whenever we go back to this Chibnall era, I'm always reminded of like, like this was kind of a level up, as uneven as seasons 1 and 2 were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cause I think that the quality and the I don't know, like the goals that the Chibnall era is setting forth for itself, like it's all very consistent and they maintain it the whole time. I think, I don't think that there's like, I can't think of an episode that is like so fucking good out of this era, and there's not an episode that's like Jesus Christ, like it's kind of like everything is kind of just like, okay, but it's consistently like, okay, so I'll give it that. It is very consistent. Whereas like the RTD2 era is a little more like messy and trying to figure itself out in a way that like, I don't think the Chibnall era is trying to figure itself out. We were trying to figure it out because we were like, what is this? But I think it knew what it was from go. It's just that like we don't really respond to it the way that some fans do. So, because they are out there, the Chibnall fans.
I believe you.
I love that for them.
Yeah, I do too. Actually, I don't, because they'll probably never get an era like this ever again.
Yeah, I can't think of like what the curse of the black spot of the 13 era is. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Or the I guess there is a Wedding of River song, but the Battle of whatever it was.
Oh, Ravkoran's Kolos.
Yeah.
See,
that's your planet that only cats can say. See?
Well, it's broken up into 3 smaller parts. That's why it's easy for me to remember.
That's fair.
That's true.
Ranskor Av Kolos.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the Ghost Monument.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Welcome
never
back,
talk
TARDIS.
about it again.
Welcome back, TARDIS. Next time we'll be talking about Rosa when we talk about the 13th Doctor. Another kind of ill-advised episode of this era.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm sorry. What do the British have to say about Rosa Parks? Anywho,
Isn't that one where they're like, no, Yaz, we actually have to just sit and watch this happen, and we can't intervene because it was.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Is that that's got to be a Doctor Who podcast out there? Anywho, right?
Anywho,
there's a Doctor Who podcast.
That's too good to not use.
Yeah, totally.
Let's change the name of the show.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, that is it for this one. Next week we're going to be circling back to the 5th Doctor, because next week it is the
63rd
62nd
anniversary of Doctor Who. We'll be talking about the 5 Doctors.
All 5 of them.
All 5 of them. Not one, and certainly not 2 of them that are shortchanged in any way whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
I mean, one was dead.
That's true. Fair enough. But you know what? The other one wasn't.
Just emotionally
Correct.
dead.
Yeah. Yep. That's what happens when you get divorced.
We'll talk about it all.
All right.
Sweet.
Next week, the 5 Doctors. Bye.